So what advice do you have for someone from a real estate perspective that's like, hey, I want to do the triple. That's what I'm committed. I'm committed to doing the triple,
Yep.
but I don't ever want, but that's below me.
Yep.
The mini is below me. I can't do that. I mean, you not see that I was amazing in my other career. I'm a triple jumper. That's what I am. That's how life works. If you only take what comes to you, guess what? Stuff stops coming to you. Right? When you put yourself out there and you say, hey, here's the deal. I'm willing to fail 80% of the time, 90% of the time. That's when your life gets big. That's when your life gets big. You guys agree?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, stand up. All right, so here we go. So here's something that who here is just going to choose to be offended over what I say? Just so I can understand.
Highly offensive.
Could be. I want some of you to fail. I want some of you to fail. And you're thinking, well, what's the trick? I'm like, no trick. I want some of you to fail. I want some of you to fail in real estate. We'll come back to that in a minute and why I want that. But I want you to think about, for just a minute, think about this last week. What things did you win at and what things did you fail at? Because if we only grow when we win, it's not how it works. It's not how it works, right? You can almost always tell the winners based on the losses, right? If you refuse to lose and get hit, you're never going to win. You're never going to win, right? But I legitimately want some people to lose, and I'll explain a little bit more why that is. If everybody got a gold medal, what would that mean? What would happen?
That's a great thing.
Meaningless.
Why? It's still the same medal, but shouldn't we all have gold medals?
No, we did the work.
Why shouldn't we all have gold medals? So it's something earned.
Something to strive for.
Would anybody care? Everybody got a gold medal, and like once a week, they had everybody that was on this birthday, whatever it was, everybody gets a gold medal that day.
Trophy for showing up.
Pointless.
Okay, but why is it pointless? It's still the same gold medal.
There's nothing left to strive for.
There's nothing left to strive for. So that represents something. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
That represents, when you see someone, that's Peekaboo Street, just so you know, right? So when you see the gold medal, what thoughts come to mind when you see the gold medal? Hard work,
Achievement.
best of the best, achievement.
Best of the best.
Does anyone visualize the pain and struggle?
Not usually, no. Not a first glance.
A little bit, not the first thing, right? You think, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I wish I had that. Right? Someone like, I could totally get a gold medal. Okay, so maybe not that. But curling, I could totally get a gold medal in curling. I could do that. I could sweep like the best of them, right? What could you do, right? So if everybody got that, if everybody won in real estate, this is not a political statement, right? But if everybody here, if we just took all the sales and we just added them and we just divided by the number of agents here and we said, okay, that's what everybody gets. Some people would be pretty happy about it, right? Probably not the people in the room. Right? Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
But would some people be unhappy about it?
Yes.
Who would be unhappy about it?
The successful people.
The gold medal people, right? So when I say I want some of you to fail, compassionately and as a person, I really don't. I want all of you guys to win gold medals. But here's the deal. If everybody won in this, if everybody won at the same level, what that would show is that our system does not work. Because our system is predicated on what? Effort, education,
Learning.
Results.
opportunity. Everybody's got opportunities. I kind of agree, but everyone's got opportunity. Do the people that are not working right now, do they have opportunity?
Yes.
Seeing the opportunity.
They're only seeing it, not actually participating in it, right? Does skill matter?
Yes.
So if you go to, if you go and you practice your scripts week after week, day after day, and you're coming to base camp, you're coming to launch camp, and you're involved and you're doing that. should you expect, all things being equal, should you expect to have a better result than the person that doesn't?
Yeah.
Okay? If you're planning your day, should you expect to have different results than the person that doesn't?
Yes.
All things being equal, right? If you're working, let's say you're an introvert, but you're working on, you're reading how to win friends and influence people, you're practicing being an extrovert, right? Because we're all on stage for a certain period of time. Should you expect a different result than the person that's identical to you that does not do those things?
Yes.
You should, right? So when I say I want some of you to fail, I hate to see people struggle. But it would be asinine for me to think that someone that does not do the work should all of a sudden mysteriously have home sales. Right? So, and I say often the worst thing that someone could do in a lot of cases is to accidentally sell a home. Why? Because because you can accidentally sell a house. Let's get real, right? You can accidentally sell a couple homes a year. You can't accidentally sell 12 to 15 to 20 to 40 to 50 to 100 to 200 to 500. You don't accidentally do that. You can accidentally sell 2 houses a year just by living and just being alive. You can sell a couple, right? But if you associate the activities that happened when you did that, you will repeat those because you believe that's what happened. And so when I say I want some people to fail, if you're not doing the work, I wish you would. Not for me, but for you. Because I know that if you do that, you will get the results, right? And I know that what happens, like some people go, oh, well, they're just lucky. Some people are just lucky, right? What happens in private gets exposed in public, right? Over time. So just look at the people that are doing multiple sales. Not that you can't extrapolate out a small number, right? Anybody can get lucky at a small number. So when I say I want you to fail, I really don't. I want you to do the work so that everybody can, because everybody can get this, right? But guess what? When you get there, it becomes something new, right? There's something new that happens with that.
Chance favors the prepared mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was Justin and I and my wife and his wife. We went up to Park City this last week, right? And so we got a chance to go up to the Olympic high jump area. And we went and we saw some pretty cool stuff.
You saw some real mountains.
We saw some real mountains. Yes, we did.
Picture. Looks way different when you're at the top versus the bottom.
There's Justin.
Yeah, that's me. Probably the biggest thing we noticed was you're standing at the bottom. It looks one way as you go up the ski lift. It looks another way.
Right.
And then as you get to the top, it looks another way.
Yeah.
Each time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, those don't seem as sharp as sharp.
Yeah.
As you get up there.
So that's the view from up on top. Okay. So what does this have to do with real estate? Right. So looking at that, what other thoughts you have as you're looking at that?
That I need some skills to do that.
Some skills to do that. Right. Yeah.
Looks like fun.
Looks like fun. It looks interesting, right? And one of the things that we also went and did, right, is we saw these freestyle jumpers. All right, so here we are. So we're at Olympic Village. Crazy. Wow. All right, way to go, Ukraine. So
Yeah, big landing software, yeah.
It's
Right?
also provide texture.
yeah, okay. And so one of the things no one really brought up here is obviously there's a lot of different ramps, right? And this is, we'll just talk about this for just a second, right? These freestyle jumps and so forth like this. So no one talked about, like, how do they start? Right? Everybody wants the gold medal. Everybody wants to do the flips. Everybody, everyone wants, like, how do I fly 100 meters? Right? Everybody here, or people get, I want to make $100,000. Right? We all want the gold medal. We all want that. The only way to be able to get that is to fall in love with the beginning stages. right? And one of the people we talked to was a gal that was like 16 years
Yeah.
old, right? And she started when she was like how old?
She said 3.
Right? So do you think she went off the highest one to start? So walk us through and talk about, so why are there these different levels here?
Yeah.
How does this apply to real estate?
Yeah, so you guys can kind of see what is, they have labels here, right? So we have mini, we have single, double, triple, single, mogul, free ride. So, and of course, they're different levels, right? They're different levels. So her, you know, when she started doing this, right, she started on the mini. And she didn't start on the mini by like doing flips and stuff. She started the mini like just going off and landing, you know? So we saw a bunch of adults just doing the free ride, which is the video that you were seeing. Those are people doing the free ride, the ones that are doing all that stuff. But we saw the next day just adults coming off the free ride and then just landing, right? So they're
Just
coming off
going
the free
up
ride, just going
and
to the end and just landing.
No flips, right?
Just- yeah, no flips or nothing. And these, so that's where they're at for their level, is they wanted to get comfortable
So let's
and get good and get the skill to use that one.
So why doesn't like ABC or whatever, why don't they broadcast that?
Boring.
Why don't they broadcast just someone's just shooting up and just landing flat?
Yeah, because there's no risk.
It's not fun.
The perceived risk. There's no perceived risk.
Yeah,
Yep.
I wouldn't do it.
When I was there, when I was there,
I
it
would
was pretty
risk
risky.
it.
Yeah, it was pretty risky when you're there. Yeah. Yeah, because as the levels get higher, that's where the stakes are higher. That's where the opportunity to win, the spoils are more, right? The opportunity to get gold medals. Yeah, so she's done all 3 of the ski jumps, she said.
And if you don't ever fall in love with the beginning one,
Mhm.
right? You don't ever fall in love with the mid. You don't ever fall in love with the hard work of actually building the skills. Do you ever go off the triple?
No. You kill yourself.
So you can't just start with the triple,
No, you can't. You kill yourself.
right?
You're
So
done.
so if I'm an agent, I'm like, okay, but yeah, I know I can do I can do those skills, but like, okay, you don't understand. I want to do the triple,
You're gonna get destroyed, and you're out. You're done. No safe
but I need it now,
we all need it now.
right? So what advice do you have for someone from a real estate perspective that's like, hey, I want to do the triple. That's what I'm committed. I'm committed to doing the triple,
Yep.
but I don't ever want. But that's below me.
Yep.
The mini is below me. I can't do that. I mean, you not see that I was amazing in my other career. I'm a triple jumper. That's what I am.
I am pretty certain there are a bunch of world-class football players, basketball players, non-skiers, that they still need to start at the mini.
But they
No
were
matter
amazing at
the-
basketball.
That's basketball. That's basketball. Steve, he played college basketball. That doesn't necessarily mean he's a good golfer, right, Steve?
That's correct.
He's like, you nailed that.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah. So, but yeah, no. So that's the whole part of it, right? That's the recipe. This is the recipe that the U.S. Olympic team has put together to say this is how we win gold medals. This is the recipe we do to get there. You want to get there? This is our recipe.
So you're telling me this little thing right here is the path to the gold medal. This mini right there,
It is part of the path to get to the gold medal.
part of the path.
Yep. Part of the puzzle piece, the puzzle,
Right.
to get to the gold medal.
But if there was no gold medal, nobody. If that was the end, just that mini was that, if that was that was it. There was no double. There was no triple. There was no nothing. That was it. Nothing would ever happen. Nothing would ever happen, right? But again, if someone doesn't fall in love with the mini, if they don't fall in love with doing the work of it, you'll never get to the triple. You'll give up along the way. Well, right? Because what will happen? Here's what will happen, right? If you skip these, you start with the mini, you go, yeah, I got that. I'm good. I'm good, man. Did you not see me? I did that. I did that one time. I'm ready for the triple now. What would happen? For just normal people, what would happen? It would be, do you guys remember the beginning video we watched? Those were amazing. Those were the best in the world, and they still fell. Right? If you skip it and you choose not to do the work, you're going to implode. If you keep doing the triple and you keep imploding, and you've just done 10 implosions in a row, 20 implosions in a row, landing on your head, embarrassing yourself, do you think you're really going to go, okay, if I do this long enough, I'm going to be a gold medalist? Nope. What will happen? You'll quit.
You get hurt.
You'll quit. Right? So in real estate, if you refuse to do the skill building and you decide to go off the triple and you refuse and you keep trying to not set, you can't set appointments, no one will meet with me. I'm meeting with people won't sign up. I'm not selling houses, I'm touring, but I'm not doing it because I'm skipping this. What will happen is you will quit. You will quit like other low skilled agents. Why? Because it's not fun to get your head kicked in. You guys are highly skilled and you still get your head kicked in, right? But it just has to be less. So the better you do here, the easier the triple is. If you skip those, and what types of things was base camp, launch camp, success school, one-on-one coaching, mentoring, all those things, those are all pieces of that, right? Does that make sense? Is that we getting that? Sometimes it's easier to be able to see other people, but we all want the gold medal. But when we fall in love with the work, that's how we get the gold medal. What else you got for us?
Yeah, no, and again, to go back to the girl, right? She was like, probably like this tall. Right, that's how she was, you know. And then we're talking to her, and then Curtis is like, "So what jumps have you done?" And she's like, "Oh, like all of them." And she's like looking at
the long jump,
these back up here, yeah. And she's looking at Curtis like, "Did you just ask me this question?" You know, she's like, "Well, all of them." You know, and then like, "Well, when did you start?" I started when I was 3, right? So, but what I got from her with that was, by her saying it like that to Curtis, what was she giving off? What was she feeling? Confidence. Well, yeah, all of them. Like, what are you asking that? So, because she did the work, right? She learned these things. She learned those things. She didn't start at the top one. And who, when they're in a transaction or when they're working and they're confident, or they just feel like they're bulletproof.
Yeah.
Right? You're with a client right? That's what we're trying to get to, right? We're trying to help you guys get to those levels where you have that confidence, where when you go off the single or double, you're like, this is a walk in the park, man. Walk in the park, you can do something else.
Yeah.
My grandfather was always telling me, it ain't hard, you just don't know how to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And once you get those skills and they get to the top, what you have to keep after them, or you'll lose them.
Yeah, you've earned them too, right? You get to keep them, right? You get to earn them and you get to keep resharpening
So
them.
who was here? The Ukrainian team, national team was here, right? Another team was coming in for a month, right? Right? They were already good, right? They were already good, but they're just getting better, right? And that's how you can internally check yourself to go, okay, am I drawn to training? Am I drawn to successful? Am I drawn to, you guys are here, I'm preaching to the choir, right? So don't be offended, right? Be offended if you're watching this later and you chose not to participate, right? But you check yourself by going, am I drawn to doing the work? Or am I only drawn to the medal stand? Am I only drawn to the medal stand? Right? Where's the flame, man? Where's the camera? Where's the lights? Right? Haven't done anything in weeks, but let me just post about how I'm a hustler. That's just you wanting to be up on the medal stand. You know what? Like billionaires, millionaires, the best in the world, they do the work. They do the work mostly quietly, mostly. Right? So you got to check yourself. Are you doing the work? Are you doing the things that then allow you to do this, right? Because guess what? If you see someone doing the triple, do you know they did the work? If they're nailing, see that video we watched where they doing all that? Do you know that they put in work?
Yes.
You know it. Yeah. Like you know they did all these other things. You know it, right? So as you put in the skill, other people are going to see your amazingness. They're going to see that. They're going to go, now that didn't just accidentally happen. You accidentally into 1, accidentally into 2, maybe 3, maybe, if you accidentally been doing it for long enough. But you don't accident into 4, 5, 10, 12, 20, 40, 100. You do the work. You do the work there.
6,000.
Yeah. Well, that's a reflection of the talent around.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you guys know, I mean, I get credit for a lot of that, but you guys know I didn't do it. Right? It's a we.
Yep.
Right? But from a marketing standpoint, it's an I because it drives it into you guys. That's how that works, right? But it's a reflection of the talent. Right?
Yep.
Anything else for us?
Nope.
Cool. Let's give Justin a round of applause. Well, don't push me down the mountain again.
Yeah.
If he had done that, he wouldn't be back for it.
You wouldn't be back either.
Neither one of us would be back. Yeah, Tom.
I guess I got to take away. I guess at the
Thank you.
beginning we said, like, I hope someone we fail.
Yeah.
I think that might be one of the best compliments you can get because it made me think when those skiers are falling, biking out.
Yeah.
Like, take that analogy to real estate business. The only way you're gonna have success, the gold medal, 100K here, is when you ask for appointments or ask for sales and people say no.
Yeah.
It's a failure.
Yeah.
But it's just like failing forward.
It's momentary.
If you want.
Yeah.
I mean, how often do we see people that are so afraid to fail that they won't ask for the appointment?
Totally.
Versus like someone like, let's say, Christy Lee, where she's crushing it lately. Everyone's seeing her escrows, but she's probably had it through clients that didn't
Totally.
that didn't want to.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm not ready right now.
Yeah.
But she's just pushing forward. She might have taken a wipe out.
Yeah.
She gets a deal. She gets another contract. So
Yeah.
it's just like it's
Totally. I mean, you guys saw this week, we passed 6,000 people in my organization, right? It's like all kinds of messages, different stuff. They're like, oh, I want to learn how to do that. Like, how do you do that, right? I keep running into this problem or whatever. I'm like, here, you really want the truth? I probably am the biggest failure in EXP. I'm like, legitimately, if I go back and look at, like, you know, I missed out on the biggest ones, like the biggest failures in EXP, I'm responsible. Like legitimately. Like I had an opportunity to get a 900 person brokerage, couldn't do it, right? It didn't go under me, right? An opportunity to convert 5 of the top 25 teams, right? Things blew up, didn't happen. Some of them joined under other people, some of them didn't join at all. Now I did some really good stuff too. Right? I did some things no one else could do. But it's only because I was willing to fail at such a massive level. If I listed all the failures, you guys would be like, I ain't working here. I had no way am I working here. No way. You guys gonna run me into the ground. Complete failure, complete loser. And I'd be like, yeah, based on that, I would agree with you. Right? And so what are we gonna see, right? And what do we consider failure? So yeah, when we talk about, you know, I want you to fail, along with kind of like what Tom's talking about, you guys will sometimes see posts people will put out there saying, I get all the listing appointments I go on, right? I get 100% of them. And you know what the top people do? Laugh hysterically at how embarrassing that is because all the top producers just laugh at them because they know one of two things. What are the two things? What's that? Yeah, they're either not going on enough appointments, right? Or they're just liars.
Yeah.
That's it. There's only two options. They're either not going on enough, right? So you got to think about that. Like, if you're committed, what am I committed to? Am I committed to my comfort zone and try to keep a super high percentage, right? Because if you only work your sphere, you're going to have less conflict. You're going to have less no's. You guys get that? That's why a lot of people just only work their sphere. I want no pushback. I want no one to say anything bad about me. And so I'm only going to let the people that actually come and beg me to work with them, I'm only going to take those people. That way I won't have any no's. I won't have any negativity. But I'm going to have a small life. And that's okay. That's up to everyone's going to make a choice. Do we get to choose a big life or a small life? Absolutely.
Yep.
Right? And so with that, the choice is, do I just stay on the bunny hill? Do I just stay on that and I could be a master of that? Or do I use that as a way to build those skills to then go up a notch, push myself? I bet no one's going to force you to go off the bigger one. No one's going to force you. If you want to hang out on that, that's fine. Guess what? You're probably not going to get much time there. They're not going to open up that pool for you. But you were here for like 4 weeks in a row just on the baby one. Well, how about we go off the other one? No, I'm going to stay on the baby one. Okay, well then you go to the back one. That's how life works. If you only take what comes to you, guess what? Stuff stops coming to you. Right? When you put yourself out there and you say, hey, here's the deal. I'm willing to fail 80% of the time. 90% of the time. That's when your life gets big. You guys agree?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, stand up for 1 second. Go give 5 high fives real quick. That's a lot. Virtually, go ahead and send someone a note online. Give someone a virtual high five. Type it in. Give someone a virtual high five online.